was thinking about the day we met, when the love came rushing out and your empty-handed filled with regret. I was thinking about the day we met, when the love came rushing out and your empty-handed filled with regret. Our love is running out. Our love is running. Our love is running. Our love is running out. Our love is running, running, running out.
A lollipop is a large, flat, rounded, boiled sweet on the end of a stick. It's basically a candy, comes in different flavors, and you suck on it. So, now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about depression and suicide. I sometimes receive alarming emails from people, and I feel like now that I have a few people listening to me, I might want to branch out onto other topics that are of some importance. One topic that rarely gets spoken about is depression and suicide. As for myself, I have some experience with this. My mother took her life when I was 5 years old, and I have been depressed pretty significantly twice in my life. As in, pretty bad. One was really bad. The other was bad but manageable. I mean, at the time, it was the worst. It's like basically World War I and World War II. They didn't call World War I World War I. They called it the Great War, because they didn't know what was coming around the corner 20 years later. So for me, that would have been called my Great Depression. Until my next depression in my mid-20s, which made that depression look like an episode of the Teletubbies. So do you guys recall that I had a fourth channel, which I had to create because of bogus strikes? That channel actually got deleted because of more bogus strikes. And so I never go to check the email that was associated with that channel. It just sat out there collecting emails. The other day, I went to check it out, just randomly. I go on there, and this is what I find. Hey, Devin, I've been following your work for a year or two now. I bought the t-shirt and everything. Of course, I don't agree with you on every single issue. Well, the man's not perfect. Like you said, there are no two people who agree on absolutely everything, but I know that you are very wise. Well, that is extremely kind of me to make videos for this man to watch and enjoy, and witness my immense owl-like wisdom on a damn near daily basis. I've been struggling with suicidal tendencies for about 3 years now. No one I talk to seems to have anything useful to say on the matter. I was wondering if you had any personal experience or insight that might help me in this tough time. I feel like the end is drawing near, and it seems like I've run out of options. All the best. So I read an email like that on this abandoned email account of mine. I read this email 2 days ago, on September 14th. I look up at the date he sent that. It was June 13th. Ew. That kind of sucks for him and for me, because if I had read that, I would have clearly reached out to him. So I wrote back, "Oh fuck, are you still alive? I never checked this email." Which was blunt and to the point. And he hasn't written back. So, oops. Now, I'm making light of a very dark situation. There's nothing funny about it. This is serious as cancer. As death. It's as serious as death. Let me cut to the chase and give you a spoiler as to what I'm going to tell you right now. And I don't know who you are, but if you are considering suicide or anything close to that sort of darkness, if that's entering the realm of possibility for you, my advice is to not kill yourself. Uncle Devin says no to suicide. I am anti-suicide. Now, obviously, there are exceptions to that rule. If you work for the Young Turks, if you're planning on voting for Trump, these things go without saying. But part of the problem is nobody can talk about the problem. So you get a guy like this, who seems to be spinning his wheels. He doesn't have anybody to go to the point where he's reaching out to random YouTubers he doesn't even know. Oftentimes, you can't go to your family. You think that's the first place to go, or friends for that matter, because of the social stigma, because you don't want to admit that you're having problems of this nature. Deep, profound problems. Problems that will get you labeled as having a mental health problem. That stigma is real. It exists. And it forces people to swallow this, keep this their own private hell. This nightmarish scenario where they experience pain and loneliness that nobody else can understand. And part of the reason they can't understand it is because they won't tell them about it. Oftentimes when you're talking about depression, the person that you're trying to hide these dark feelings from ends up being yourself. In other words, you don't want to confront whatever it is that has brought you into this cycle of darkness. Depression is in many ways our misguided, faulty way of trying to cope with emotional trauma. It's almost like a safeguard, a defense mechanism, kind of like the way the Titanic was supposed to work. So if there was a puncture in the hull of the Titanic, there was supposed to be a way in place where you could shut down, compartmentalize the flooding. You shut it down so that the entire ship doesn't go down. Now, in the case of the Titanic, the entire hull got slashed by that iceberg. The iceberg was white, by the way, so fuck white people. So when it comes to depression, what that is, oftentimes, in my opinion, it is our way of saying, okay, enough's enough. It's time to check out. I got to distance myself from whatever pain or psychological trauma we are currently feeling the effects of. So what do? We remove ourselves from society, from social settings, from reality, in essence. We numb ourselves. Get away from the problem. That's the name of the game. Well, what if the problem is reality? Well, then get away from reality. This is why people who are depressed, they sleep a lot. And you'll hear time and time again, the worst part of their day is when they wake up and go, oh Christ, it's reality again. So your girlfriend broke up with you? You're alone? She dumped your ass? She's hooking up with some new guy? Well, guess what? That's the way it's going to be Monday. And when you go to bed Monday night, guess what's going to happen Tuesday morning? You're going to wake up and realize that the reality of your life is that your girlfriend is getting pegged in her V-hole by that guy, some other guy, me. I'm pegging her. I think pegging's something different, but go with me. So what do? Do you freak out? Do you panic? By the way, a panic attack is in the same vein. Panic attacks are also knee-jerk, involuntary reactions to a situation that you can no longer deal with. I view a panic attack the same way as I do throwing up. You go out, have a bunch of drinks, you eat a bunch of fish. You're having fish, you're stuffing yourself, you're drinking alcohol, different kinds, wine, beer, all that. At some point, your body, your digestive system is going to go, dude, I don't know what you're doing up there, but this ain't happening. We're taking over. It's ejection time. We're barfing. I view a panic attack as psychological barfing. Your system no longer has the capacity to manage the emotional reality of your life. One of the things I find about depression is that oftentimes the person who is depressed doesn't know why. They don't have a concise and accurate understanding of what has led them to where they are. Now, this can happen for a couple reasons. One is that it's just confusing. They legitimately don't know why the hell they are the way they are. Number two, a little bit more sneaky, a little bit more devious, and in the end, detrimental to their own well-being. Number two is they don't want to know why they are depressed, because to know that is to face that. Do you understand? So let's say, theoretical, your priest raped you. You've buried it. You're trying to get on with your life. You're trying to pretend it never happened. And yet it creeps back into your consciousness. And you begin to withdraw from life. And you're hiding from the shame and the anger and all the crap that you never processed about that event, that traumatic event from your past. Now, part of your depression there is self-induced. You don't want to deal with that issue because it's too painful. I'm not saying this comes from a place of weakness. I'm saying it comes oftentimes from a place of self-preservation. This is a survival instinct. It's an attempt to cauterize a wound. You know, your leg gets blown off in World War I and you set fire to your stump to avoid infection. Okay, this is not an exact science here, but it's the best that we can do oftentimes. And it often happens just instinctually. You don't make a conscious choice. Hey, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to be depressed and fade away into a sad, moping existence in an attempt to avoid the traumatic events from my past, which I feel completely incapable of conquering or dealing with in any way. Quick word about the word depression. Depression is a huge blanket term. There's a million different varieties of this. It's almost useless as a term. And I hate this idea that once you're depressed, okay, now it's binary. Oh, you're depressed. Well, let's take you down this path, and here are some drugs. Not the answer. Not the answer. Only in the worst cases should you temporarily even consider using drugs to up your serotonin level. This whole notion of genetically predisposed and brain chemistry is the problem. No. Unbelievably rare would that be the case. Predisposition, all that, no, nonsense. I would say that there's a couple different brands of depression, though, that are worth delineating. One is situational depression, which just means there is a situation in your life that has led you to being depressed. And the situation is obvious. You lost your job. You lost the big game. You got dumped. You texted a girl a dick pic, she never wrote back to you. Okay, these are the reasons that most people get depressed. And it makes sense. You should be depressed. Your cat died. Now, there is a range to that, a spectrum, because if your depression lingers on, it might be indicative that there's something else at play here. So those kinds of depressions are far easier to grapple with, namely because you know why you're depressed. For example, when I was 18 years old, I started losing my hair, and I was depressed. I was bummed out, I was feeling sorry for myself, and I was just gloomy. My world had come to an end. I am going to be the Hunchback of Notre Dame. No woman will want to touch me. I am a leper. And why is this happening to me? Fuck life. Fuck you all. Nobody knows my pain. Poor me. Okay, so that was why I was depressed. And if anybody were to ask me, and if I was in a moment of honesty, I would tell you, I'm depressed because I'm losing my hair. I went to therapy for it. I tried to grapple with it, and eventually, a very kind therapist in Los Angeles got tough with me and shamed me into getting over that depression. The first day I went into him, I was wearing a hat, I was very ashamed, and he said, Devin, I will let you in on a little secret here. I don't have as much hair as I used to have, but there are methods of combing your hair so that it masks the loss. And I was like, oh my God, this 60-something-year-old man is trying to teach me how to do a comb over. And he didn't understand. I was losing my hair. It wasn't just a little bit from the middle back. It was, what in the F is happening? I'm a freshman at Berkeley, and my friends are worried about how many Jaeger shots they're going to do that night and how many chicks they're going to bone, and my body parts are falling off for no goddamn reason. So I was just cringing and facepalming and just, Now, about 5 weeks in, he got sick of me because I'm pretty stubborn. I was like, no, don't want to hear it, dude. You don't understand my pain. I am bitter, and I have every right to be. And that was my message to the universe. And eventually he got sick of my shit and confronted me and actually just took a tone and said, okay, Devin, fine. How about this? You win, okay? You win. Why don't you just live your life, die, and then on your tombstone, I'll say, here lies Devin Tracy. He could not handle the loss of his hair. And he said it to me in such a way that even in my bitter depression, I had to laugh. And in that laughter, I honestly overcame that chapter of sadness in my life. I begrudgingly accepted the fact that I could not stop this from happening, and he basically just forced me and shamed me into changing my perspective. I will say that having vigorous sex with my friend's live-in nanny did help that situation as well. So that was also part of the healing process. And it confirmed for me that being bald was not a death sentence to my sex life. I wish I could say that that didn't matter, but to an 18-year-old kid, yeah, it does matter. My second depression in my mid-20s was a clusterfuck. It was terrible. And it was more of an existential crisis. Here's the 10-second version of it. I lost my mom when I was 5, freaked me the fuck out. My stepsister died when I was 8. I thought I was cursed, was not cool with death, was not cool with life. If you're not cool with death, you're definitely not cool with life, okay? These two things are intertwined. And my entire working solution to the problem of, oh my God, everybody I love is dying, was that my dad's there. My dad is there, and therefore everything's going to be okay. Now, in my mid-20s, it began to dawn on me that he was a mortal human being. Now, I probably knew this on a surface level, but on an emotional level, no. I was still working with a Band-Aid solution of a 5-year-old who just lost his mom. And as many atheists out there know, without that safety net of heaven, or a benevolent overseer who has made the universe for you, it can be a bit dark and scary and horrifying. So I basically panicked, did not know how to cope with this, and I had to wrestle with my own psyche and sift through this existential crisis and figure out if I wanted to die or if I wanted to live. Do I want to accept life for what it is, which, by the way, is filled with pain and loss and sadness? Or do I want to throw up the Monopoly board and say, fuck this, I can't get my way, so I'm not playing anymore? As a 5-year-old, my greatest fear was that everybody I loved was going to die and I could do nothing about it. As a 25-year-old, I buckled under the understanding that everybody I love is going to die and I can do nothing about it. Now, even during the severe depression I went through, I was never considering suicide. That doesn't mean that other people don't do that. As we know, suicide is a topic that is a downer. It doesn't get discussed a lot openly, but we know it happens. The numbers keep rolling in. People live quiet lives of misery, struggle with their personal problems in a very private and claustrophobic manner. In other words, their problems never see the light of day. They never get openly discussed. Do you know what percentage of people have therapists? Next to none. Having a therapist is a luxury for people in the first world and who have disposable income. Everybody else just tries to half-ass it and get whatever piece of advice or support they can get, however they can get it. So what can I tell you about suicide? Well, like most things in life, I defer to Booger. Who is Booger? Booger is a character from Revenge of the Nerds, played by the actor Curtis Armstrong. Now, Curtis played another character named Charles DeMar. Charles DeMar was a coke-snorting freak, weirdo, nerd from a movie called Better Off Dead, which is a John Cusack movie from 1985, and one of the greatest cult classic sleeper hits of all time, as far as I'm concerned. It's a great film. In the story, his girlfriend dumps him within the first 5 minutes of the film, and he is severely depressed, and he tries to kill himself. It's a comedy, and it has a happy ending. But Charles DeMar gives him some good advice, and I'm going to share that with you right now.
Suicide is never the answer, little trooper. Greendale is a bodaciously small town, Lane. It's a fly speck on the map. A rest stop on the way to a ski slope. I can't even get real drugs here.
Exactly. Suicide is never the answer, little trooper. Greendale is a bodaciously small fly speck on a map, and yes, he is about to do whippets instead of getting actual drugs. But Lane Meyer, Mr. Meyer.
Mr. Meyer! Please join us at the blackboard and show us your solution to this paltry geometric dilemma.
Played by John Cusack, had already made his mind up, and he thought it was time to go.
Hello, Lane. How was your day?
Beth broke up with me.
Oh, that's nice.
We're through. That's it.
What the hell? Wait a minute here. Wait, this is death here. I haven't even been to New York City. Jesus, I haven't even been anywhere.
And then later in the film, old Lane Meyer tried it again.
Lane,
What?
what are you doing?
Nothing.
Yes, you are. Oh, buck up, little camper. We'll beat that slope together.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm right behind you, buddy.
Man, now that's a real shame when folks be throwing away a perfectly good white boy like that.
So, if you're out there and you are in a bad place, I insist that you refrain from killing yourself. I will not allow it, and I refuse to let you do it. And if you do it, I will hire the services of a red priestess. We shall resuscitate you, and I then shall kick your ass. And just remember, things could be worse. Even in the abyss of sorrow that you find yourself in, at least you are not being chastised and mocked by 2 Japanese foreign exchange students in a car with a loudspeaker and a microphone who consistently challenge you to a drag racing contest.
Oh, no, not now. What do they want? They want a race.
Wayne Meyer, the kid from Green Bay.
See, here's a good example.
I don't know.
Two brothers, one speaks no English, the other learned how to speak English from watching the wide world of sports. So you tell me which is better, speaking no English at all or speaking Howard Cosell?
The chances seem slim that this once great has the nerve, the desire to win that he once had.
You must obey the proper speed limits. A car is not a toy.
Obviously admitted defeat.
So these two Japanese guys follow him around throughout the movie and just ride him. And they come up and the guy speaks like Howard Cosell and he goes, "Truly a sight to behold. The man beaten. The once great champ, now a study in muppishness."
6 months. 6 months and she just dumps me for him. For Stalin, just like that. 6 months.
Truly a sight to behold. A man beat the once great champ, now a study in muppishness. No longer the victory-hungry stallion we've raced so many times before, but a pathetic, washed-up, aged ex-champion.
All right, let's go.
Somebody gonna stay guard. I'm gonna break your goddamn neck! Get out of the car!
Whatever your situation is, please understand that suicide is never the answer, little trooper. Life is worth fighting for. Things can change for the better. It's like that thing they talk about with gay dudes. It gets better. But in their situation, it gets better implies you get to fuck dudes in the ass and get fucked in the ass. I'm talking about it really gets better. You get to fuck women in the ass, for starters. There's a chance of that. If you kill yourself, your chance at fucking women in the ass is nil. Nil. Is that the world you want to live in? 0% chance. No, sir, that's not how it's going down. I insist that you keep hope alive, and if you are having a problem, and you need somebody to talk to, then come to me and I will talk you off the ledge. And I do this not because I will benefit from this in any way. I don't even know you. But I can announce to the world that I have virtue. Virtue. Where are you? So we can kill two birds with one stone. I peacock my virtue for the world to see. We save your miserable life, and we kill a bird with a stone. Hashtag bird lives don't matter. Your life does. Don't kill yourself. Suck on a lollipop. Good night.
I remember when I saw you cry. Like a waterfall you carried me away. We just look into your eyes. I remember when I saw you cry. Like a waterfall you carry me, the way we just look into your eyes. Our love is running out. Our love is running. Our love is running. Our love is running out. Our love is running, running, running out. Our love is running. Our love is running.